Hey guys, Deathbyphiw here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about tier list for all the DPS ultimates in Overwatch 2 as we approach the end of the season and start of the new season. I'm going to rank them in tiers from high up as game changing all the way down to just flat out awful. I'm going to do a little bit different of approach this time. I'm going to start from the bottom up, and I'm going to start with flat out awful alts because I got a bit of a bone to pick with Blizzard devs because some of my favorite hit scan heroes are on this list. And I'm going to throw the three of them up. Bastion, Widowmaker, Cass. I mean, these three alts, I pretty much think that you all would agree with me is that Bastion's artillery strike not that very strong. You have to use it to kill someone who doesn't have a lot of mobility. And it's just so easy to run away from it, dodge it, cleanse it, whatever. It's just easy to get away from. Widowmaker's walls, I mean, just don't peek the Widow for the amount of time that her ult's up and pretty much useless. Cassidy's Deadeye, another pretty much useless ult. Yes, you do see a lot of big plays with streamers and higher ranked players and clips on YouTube Shorts and TikTok, whatever. People making big plays with it, but ultimately it's easily countable, easily avoidable, and it just seems like I use Deadeye more to just reload my gun than anything. Situational ults. These are not necessarily bad alts, just like you got to use them in a certain situation to help out the team. And I'm going to go with Sims ult, Sims wall can change the fight up, but it's situational, whereas like you need to use it in the middle of a team fight to help out the team, to block someone else's ult, to block, let's say there's a nano alting Soldier 76, like that wall can save you, but the team runs by it. Okay, what else does it provide? It is pretty good, but you can just go around it. You could also, I think you could EMP it. Correct me if I'm wrong. EMP your wall and it just goes away. Could be wrong there. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, don't think it's bad. Don't think it's awful. But don't think it's really that good. I just think it's an okay ult that you use in certain situations. Same way that I feel about Hanzo's ult. I think it's in combination with like Zarya grab, really strong. It's more or less used in choke points or to use it to put the enemy team in a precarious situation where they have to move more into an area that makes them, easier to kill by your team. You can use it to displace your enemy, basically, more than getting kills. Yeah, you can see some big Hanzo ultimate plays, but just a situational ult, in my opinion. Somewhat impactful ults, Maze Blizzard. It could be really strong, but also another ult that you can counter, run out of if you have enough time. If you have a lot of mobility heroes, like a Diva, you can get out of it. Like Orisa, you just press shift, you walk out of it. Kiri Cleanse can save somebody in it and get them out. With the high healing meta that it is today, you could potentially just get your teams safely out of it. And there's a lot of utility with supports now. There's a lot of movement ability DPS, like Pharahs and Echoes and Soldiers, and there's Sojourns who have slide abilities. Like there's things that you could just get out of her ult. So it really depends on the team comp. So it can have a pretty good impact on the team. I think it's a pretty good ult. I just don't think it's game changing or really strong ultimate. Next up on my list is Bob. Ash's ult, her Bob, can be somewhat impactful in team fights. It could stall a point. It could keep the team protected for a while as your teammates come out of spawn and try to recontest a point. Like it could stall that, and it can become important. It could also do quite a bit of damage if it's nanoed or if it's popped in Kitsune Rush. It could do quite a bit of damage. Genji is next. His blade is somewhat impactful because with nano, it's impactful. Without nano, it's situational. So I kind of put in the middle of somewhat impactful. It's like Genji's really bad right now in the current meta. With the new season coming out and increased health pools, it's going to be even worse when season 9 comes out. So probably do a later video some weeks into season 9 to update these lists that I post on my channel. But I just think it's a good ult. It's not great, it's not bad, but with the current meta, it just makes it not as strong as what it normally is. Tracer's Pulse Bomb is next on my list. Getting a pick is important. You can You can sticky an enemy team member with it, kill them. But with the way that there's so much utility out there with supports, you can save yourself. And also there's also utility on certain DPS characters. Echo could clone somebody and take less damage because they're a tank and won't die. Kiri can cleanse. Bap's Lamp can save people. Lifeweaver can save people with the pull. Moira can fade out. Reaper can fade out as well with his ability. I forget the exact name of the ability, but yeah, there's different things. But it could be strong and provide a lot of value. Zarya graphs provide a lot of value as well. So another one, I mean, this is similar to Genji's ult, where it could be a game-changing ult, but Junkrat's Tire can also be really awful at the same time. So that's why I kind of put it in the middle of the ground. You can change the outcome of game with Junkrat's Tire, get a bunch of kills, or get a kill in a squishy that is really important to win that team fight and make it a 5v4 situation. Or it could just be flat out awful. You pop it at the wrong time, the enemy team sees where you're at, kills you, and then somebody shoots your tire and it just provides no value and you're dead. So that's my opinion on it. Don't like Junkrat out, but don't kill it. Another somewhat impactful ult is Torb. I just think it's a pretty good ult, but it's also it's not great, but it's not bad. The floor is lava. You could avoid it, but he could also displace enemy team members by putting that lava all over a point and make it easier for your enemy team to push in and easier for you as the enemy team to push in and make it harder for your opponents to be on point. They're going to take damage. It can kill people pretty quickly if you do step on it. I think it's a pretty balanced ult, and I like it. Pharah's ult falls into the same thing as Genji and Junkrat's. Like, you're extremely vulnerable when you ult as Pharah, so it's pretty much hit or miss. It can be game changing, but it also can be flat out awful. I mean, if you don't position well and if you don't pay attention to your opponent's cooldowns on their abilities, you can be slept, you can be instantly killed when you press Q. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen. Or you flank and go around in the right time, and the cooldowns of your enemy's abilities aren't up, and you catch them off guard, you could team wipe. So kind of game changing, but also in certain situations, if countered, really awful. Put it in the middle ground, somewhat impactful of the ultimate. Moving on up to impactful ults. This is questionable because I thought it would be somewhat impactful or even situational. I put it impactful after I thought about it for a lot, but Echo's ability to copy an enemy team member is, in my opinion, it's really strong. Like, you get a second life. Echo is low-key slept on as a DPS. I think she's really strong. I think she's a really strong pick on DPS. She has a much smaller hitbox than Pharah and is, in my opinion, a lot more mobile than Pharah before this Season 9 changes to Pharah, of course. But right now, Pharah's changes haven't gone through yet. We're nearing the end of Season 8 and start of Season 9. But Echo's ability to just move around quickly and do a ton of damage to targets, and her ability to just like go in to a team, delete somebody, take a lot of damage, then maybe copy the tank to stay alive and just fight. And then she basically has 3 lives, right? She starts with her regular Echo self, goes in, starts doing damage, gets chunked down to like no HP. She presses Q, she copies somebody, has a copy of them in a second life, goes in, starts trying to kill somebody, can get their ult and be completely game changing their ult, right? You copy a ram, get the ult, because you get your ult a lot quicker in Echo's ultimate. Get that ult, pop it, you could wipe the team. Or if you don't do anything, you get a second life, you lose all your life on that person that you copied, you turn back into Echo and you're still alive, which is pretty crazy to me. So it's like 3 lives. So you have the ability to do something pretty impactful when you ult as Echo. I'm a little biased. I'm a big Soldier 76 fan. Look at the shirt on. Soldier 76. He's one of my favorite DPS and one of my mains on hitscan because I am a hitscan main, usually in high masters flirting with GM. Sorry, I'm a 35-year-old married man with soon to be 2 kids, so don't have as much time as most other folks to play the game, but high master's pretty decent in my opinion. Um, yeah, his ultimate to me is extremely impactful. There's no fall off damage, so you could be all the way across the map. If your enemy team's in the open, it's as if you're up close shooting them. As Soldier 76, I think that's really strong. His visor can be comboed with Rush, which can delete the entire team. Same thing with Nano. And unlike the other ultimates like Genji's Blade or Tire and stuff like that, and Pharah's Barrage, which are somewhat impactful because they could be game changing or awful, really, I just think like if you pop his ult at the right time, it's never going to be bad. It's never going to be situational or awful. It will always have somewhat of an impact, but it could be game changing. So that's why I put it in an impactful situation, right in a smack dab in the middle of them. You combo them with other ults. I mean, a Sig throws the team up in the air, press Q, you can delete everyone up there. When they come down, they die to Sig's ult anyway. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. Also, you get additional damage if you shoot people in the head. So it's aimbot. You aim for heads, aimbot, boom, you do more damage. You can still crit in it. So really strong. 3 most game-changing ults in my opinion, are Soldier and Zol. Soldier is really strong right now. Maybe that changes in season 9, but her ultimate is really, really freaking strong. You can just flat out delete tanks, delete squishies. It is OP. I don't know what else to say about that. Next up, Sombra's EMP. I mean, really, truly game changing. It counters so many abilities and so many ultimates in the game. It can really sway a team fight. It's just broken. But I don't think Sombra's broken. I don't like Sombra. So you could delete her from the game if you're watching this, Blizzard devs. But her ultimate is really, really freaking strong. And people may disagree with this last one, but I think Reaper's ultimate also a really game-changing ult. Yes, you can counter it, you can sleep them, you can do a bunch of things and kill them while you're in it, and cleanse and walk away and do damage from a distance to them and make it less value. You can displace them by pushing them away. I just think like if you have a good Reaper and high elo, you pop that ult, you can change the outcome of the game. You can get 2, 3, 4 kills, team wipe. In my opinion, and it is almost never awful or situational. I put it on a low tier game changing. I think I wouldn't put it on a high impact, but I'm putting in game changing simply because I don't know. I just think like in higher elo you get a lot more value with it than not. Even in lower elos, like people don't really know what they're doing, and a Reaper can just flank and press Q and delete the team. So yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you like my analysis here? Is there anything you'll change? Open to criticism, open to hear your thoughts. Happy to hear and talk to you about it in the comments. Other than that, as always, happy gaming.